Thank you again for joining us today for I Tune to Him, our new ministry here at Butterfield Church. It's an honor and a joy to come to you today. John writes to us in our scriptures today in 1 John chapter 4. Listen to what he says to us in verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. And it kind of reminds me today of a story that I would like to share with you. In fact, the basis of this story is just simply our topic today. Love has no limitations. Aren't you glad love knows no boundaries? It's a story of a young lady, and her name is Beth. Beth is sitting in the terminal of the airport waiting to board her flight. And she's sitting there with people all around her. And she thinks, I'll do something to pass the time. And she takes her Bible out and she just begins to pass the time away reading the Word. And then she gets very uncomfortable. She feels like people are staring at her and looking at her. And after a period of time, she realizes they're not really watching her, but she glances over her shoulder and there's a stewardess pushing a real old man. In fact, a pretty ugly old man. His hair is all tangled. He has a lot of wrinkles. And he doesn't even really look very friendly. She felt the love of the Lord drawing her to this old man. She goes up to this old man and she doesn't know really what to say or what to do. But then the Holy Spirit impresses her to do something that is very strange. She knew what she was supposed to do. She was supposed to brush his hair and get the tangles out of his hair. She goes up to him and says, Sir, can I have the honor of brushing your hair? The old man looks at her kind of with a grumpy look and says, What? And she says, Oh, great. He can't hear on top of everything else. She says, Sir, can I have the honor of brushing your hair? And he says, Well, if you would really like to. And then she says, But I don't have a brush. He says, If you'll look in the bag on the back of my wheelchair, you'll find a brush. All those that were there were just watching to see what his response would be. But she takes out the brush and she begins to brush his hair. Now Beth had a young daughter, so she knew what it was like to get tangles out of hair. So she was very gentle with him. She took the time. She brushed his hair. And with every stroke, she showed her love to this old man. As she was brushing his hair, he began to weep and he began to cry. And as she finished, she said, Sir, can I ask you a question? Do you know Jesus? With tears in his eyes, he said, Oh, yes. In fact, when I got ready to get married, my bride would not let me marry her unless I knew Jesus. So I asked him into my heart. With tears streaming down his face, he told Beth, he said, In fact, that's where I've been. I've been very sick, and I've been to the hospital to get treatments. And my wife, who is so frail as well, she was unable to go with me, and she's home waiting for me. And I was so afraid to go home and so embarrassed to go home because my hair was so bad. As I thought about this story, I thought, Lord, let me love like that. Let me have that kind of compassion to reach out to someone today and to show them that I am truly a follower of Jesus Christ. By this time, everybody in the airport was crying. And as they begin to get ready to board their flight, the stewardess stops Beth and says, Can I ask why you did that? And then it dawned on Beth that God had used her love and compassion for this old man to actually witness to this stewardess and share the love of Jesus Christ. I want to tell you today, my friend, God's going to give you opportunities to share His love. He's going to put people in your path today. And some of them are not going to be easy to love. Probably going to be some very difficult circumstances that you might encounter. But I want to tell you today, God's love has no boundaries. And you will be given an opportunity today to share His love. You never know who's watching. Will you be a disciple of His? Until tomorrow, God bless you. We hope you have a wonderful day.